My name is Peggy O'Connell, and I am your other candidate for the 3rd District Appellate Court. My path to the bench was a little different than John's. I put in to become an associate judge in DuPage County, but because I'm a Democrat, I was never appointed. But because I'm Irish and Southern, I ran. So in 2020, I ran, and when I won, I became the first private lawyer who was a woman and a Democrat to be elected directly to the court. So a lot of people call me Peggy, other people call me a leapfrog because I was able to make that leap. Since being on the bench for the past 5 years, I now am the presiding judge of the felony division, so I oversee all of our felony courtrooms, and one of them is mine, so I don't know how much I oversee myself, but, and then I also oversee First Appearance Court, which I'm always going to call Bond Court, but now because of the Safety Act, we call it First Appearance Court, and I also oversee Drug Court. So our Drug Court is basically for first offender drug cases, and if you complete our program, then your case is dismissed. I am a very strong advocate for first offender probation, first offender gun probation. We also have our specialty courts for veterans court, MICAP, in order to help defendants so that we're just not churning out and punishing defendants. We have an obligation to help them and to give them the resources so they can go back into the public and not recommit offenses, and those people, ultimately will be sent to the Department of Corrections. So I'm a big believer in restorative justice. Prior to getting on the bench, I've been a lawyer now, I counted, 33 years. I first started working in the Attorney General's office in law school, and when I graduated, my first oral argument was in the 7th Circuit, which is the Court of Appeals, and the next court up is the U.S. Supreme Court. So being young and not really appreciating the severity of where I was really benefited me because I had no idea how important it was. But I argued that case. I've argued cases in all of the appellate courts here. Well, we have one appellate court technically in Illinois, and before the Illinois Supreme Court and all of our federal courts. And really my experience when I was in law school, and then my first oral argument is where I fell in love with the law, and I fell in love with doing appeals. So I did that throughout my years in private practice. I also did work in the state's attorney's office, the attorney general's office, private practice, which drew me into family law, and I did a lot of work as a guardian ad litem prior to getting on the bench. So I am here tonight just to introduce myself. If you need any more information, you can visit my website, judgeoconnell.com, and both John and I are getting signatures because we need 1,406 signatures to get on the ballot. So thank you all for your time, and if you can, before you leave, sign my petition. I would appreciate it. Thank you.